Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. In God we trust. Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Wednesday night. With Rodney Grimes, power to power, positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about we and God we trust. Positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday